Hello, my name is Rowan and today I'm reading Enter the Viper by L. Ray Gunn on DeviantArt. This is a scene about a person living with a curse, so without further ado, let's begin. Her hands were steady and her heart beat slowly as she made her way through the top floor window. The fear would come later, it always did, but for now she was cool and collected. Every pale strand was in place in a braid, and her gloved hands left not a single mark as she slunk down the dark halls of the museum. She mused over the past month since she had gotten home from her trip to Egypt. She'd only just graduated from college and felt the need to roam and expand her horizon before settling down in a career. She'd had no way of knowing just how much that trip would change her. Perhaps, she thought, if I hadn't gone to the market that day. Deft hands slipped lockpicks into the keyhole of the South American exhibit hall. Perhaps, she clicked open the door, if I hadn't met that young man and his friends. She paused inside the door to check the security around her chosen prize. Perhaps. A second set of eyelids blinked and the faint lines of heat-sensitive lasers appeared in her sight. If I hadn't stupidly agreed to go see that tomb. Nimble and quick, she sprang across the room, barely touching the floor as she wove between the triggers. Perhaps, she sighed as she stood before the golden jaguar statue and looked the glass over. If I hadn't been so naive and trusting. Oh well. She rubbed her hands together and a grin slowly spread across her face, pearly white teeth flashing behind ruby red lips. Thinking it over for a moment, she shrugged and simply punched through the reinforced glass. She wasn't exactly fussed if she made a scene. Right away, alarms started to blare through the building, and the underpaid security guards raced towards the room. By the time they got there, the artifact was gone, and a single red lipstick stain was left on the pedestal. She oozed through the windows and around corners, giving security cameras a cheeky wink and a salute. Before they could lock down the building, she was gone into the night. Halfway across the city, she slipped unseen into her apartment and sauntered to the small closet. With a small fiddling, she undid a latch and released the fake back. Inside was the start of a collection of priceless items. The statue was placed inside as well, and all was securely shut again. With a sigh, she undid and shook out her hair, the pale colour fading back to a nondescript brown. At the same time, shiny scars spread across her face, nearly covering the left side. Her left eye dulled and turned milky, and her perfect lips were pulled down and askew as the scarring continued down her neck and vanished under her clothes. Changing into her comfy sweats and a t-shirt, she fell back on the bed with a contented sigh. That persistent itch had dulled again, at least for a while. It helped going out to add to her collection. It made her less jittery for a few days to a few weeks. Perhaps, she murmured softly. In the quiet of the dark room, she ran a finger over the scars on her cheek. Perhaps if those boys hadn't left her bleeding out on an ancient altar, she wouldn't have become the Viper. When she woke up in the dark tomb, she decided to thank them for giving her life again. In the end, they reaped their just rewards. L. Ray Gunn is new to DeviantArt, having only been there for 2 months at the time I'm recording this, so be sure to show her your support via the link below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next